Hi everybody, this is Ritesh. I'm the head of product here at Nurture. I'm going to show you today how easy it is to create adventures and brings down the cost of production and also the team needed. So what we're going to do in this video is me and two of my colleagues are going to show you a glimpse of how we create linear animation and also tweak games so that they tie into the story. My colleague Scott will show you the linear part and then Grant will show you the engine. But before I hand it off to them, I'm going to show you a quick overview of the platform. So the platform basically has five key components. So the first one is canvas. So this over here is where we create assets, create shots, and you'll see Scott doing that. The second section is the parameterized game engine. So in this section, you build games. So we have a collection of interactives or game blocks that we can tweak and customize them to create new games. I'll show you a few of them. So this one is the breathing game where we teach kids about staying calm, and the character breathes in and out, and you can customize that. We have slightly more complex one, which is the block puzzle, and this game mechanic is used in the Pocoyo adventure. We also have a few more. I'll show you this. Bell shooter is currently already in the game where the character shoots down waffles, and you have to shoot down four to complete the game. So all these game mechanics can be tweaked and customize them to create new games. And they're also built in a way that humans can change the form settings, which Grant will run you through. And there's also JSONs that, as we know, like AI is really good at tweaking. So where this is going is, humans can create the templates with AI assistant, and our agent will also be able to pick the right game block and tweak the JSON to come up with new interactives that fit the story. But we'll have Grant show you a demo of this. The third section is compose. This is where we piece everything together. And I'm going to come back to this section after Scott and Grant are done with their sections. And I also want to talk about the agent. So with the agent, we're building towards a point where all the actions that you're about to see Scott and Grant do manually would also be possible for the agent to do. And assist you in some of the tedious tasks like regenerating, assessing, evaluating, and getting it to a point where shots are good. In future, it will also generate entire storyboards and piece all of them together for you. Basically and coach you on those as well. Yet another thing that I want to show you is model training. This is another key feature where we can effectively train models and fine-tuned off existing open source models where you can provide data, you can annotate the data and train characters, environments, props, and then be able to prompt and create those. So this is something that we are actively working on and should be coming in a matter of weeks. Another thing that I want to show you also is how we're building up agents. So we have currently 5 agents that we are working on, where each of them are specialized in different parts of the creative process. So as a director has certain skills, script writers, game developers, storyboard artists, etc. have different skills and responsibilities. And as you are creating an adventure, you could assign some of those tasks to those agents, and they will do it for you in the platform. So yeah, that gives you like an overall view of the platform. And now I'm going to hand it off to Scott, who is going to run you through creating some shots for DD402, which is an adventure that we're currently working on. So over to you, Scott.
Hey, I'm Scott. I am a founder at Nurture. I am also the co-chief creative officer, and I'm also a creator and writer and producer of children's content. I've been doing that for about 20 years, and today I'm going to show you how different it is when we do that at Nurture. I'm going to animate a shot for one of the episodes I helped write, and I'm going to animate without any 3D software, and I don't have any character animation skills either. First, I have a design. This is where I'm going to start. I like this design, but I'm going to remove it from the background because I don't want this interfering with the data set that I'm creating. Now that I have my design isolated over here, I'm going to start creating a faux 3D environment with the help of our creator platform. What I'm going to need though are some lighting references, which I have here. I selected these because I think they're pretty. I like the way the colors look, and I think the lighting is pretty good. That's what I begin with. I take these two together, I feed in my prompt, and I tell it I want multiple camera angles as well, because I'm going to need them. So here, these are generating, and while they're in the oven, I'm going to hit the time warp button. So I've got some pretty good results here. You can see I've got all kinds of different views of the room with lighting data, and it looks nice. Next, I'm going to look at my boards to figure out what the action is. I can see here it's two characters sitting on what looks like it could be a sofa. I want it to be a sofa, so I'm going to make it a sofa. And since I have complete creative control, I'm not going to animate the little red tomatoes. I'm going to deal on the main characters for this shot. So what I'm going to need now are some close-up shots of that sofa. So based on these images here that I generated, I'm going to enter my prompt. Give me close-up shots of the green sofa. I had to generate a fourth one because I didn't quite get what I wanted, but the one at the bottom, that is the one I like. I've got my character references over here, which are really important because I don't have models or anything like that. I need these references and I need my prop, and I'm going to go ahead and I've given my prompt, letting it know that I want the back of the tablet facing the camera, and we're going to generate a few of these and see what happens. Okay, now that these are done, I'm checking for continuity. I've lost the light switch here and here. Those are both yellow. That happens, but that's fine because I think this one's cuter anyway. So this is the one I'm going to go with. So now it's time to add the other characters in. We're going to add them in one by one because that gives me the most control and that makes me the happiest. All right, so now I'm telling it to put the little yellow character to the left of the pink character on the sofa. I'm going to generate 3. 3 is my lucky number, usually. And I'll show you in a moment what we got. And that's looking pretty cute. I got 3 good results, and I think it's really cute the way his hands are on his chin. I also like the position of the little pink guy on the sofa better. And this one is my favorite. So just as we did with Fizz, the little yellow guy, we're going to chirp. So we pinned her, and I've told her what I want. What I want is for her to be sitting on the right hand, actually standing on the right-hand side of the sofa, because that's cuter than sitting. So we're going to go ahead and generate and add the final character to the scene. 2 of these, chirp is too big. She's bigger than Swoosh, and that's not supposed to be. So we're going to go with the middle one. I like the way she's looking at him. I think it's a good composition. All right, so now that I've got everything all set up with my staging and my frames, I'm going to begin animating again without a model, a rig, or 3D software. I feel like I'm putting on a magic show. Kind of is. Okay, hang tight. I have to change my model to be video. Okay, so I have my stage direction, I have my references, and I'm going to have the little yellow guy walk on screen from left and hop up on the sofa to sit next to his big pink friend. All right, we got 3. Let's see.
What'd you think, Squoosh?
Not so bad.
What do you think, Squoosh?
That's pretty cute.
What'd you think, Squoosh? What'd you think, Squoosh?
We're going to go with the right for the win. That's the best one. Now that I've chosen my first shot, I need to go ahead and extract the final frame. I've chosen my video, and I put another character reference in there because she's off screen, so it's not going to know what it looks like until I tell it what it looks like. I'm going to generate a few more and hit fast forward. All right, well, I can already see that this one is wrong because it's got the wrong composition. Let's check out these 2 here.
Farm artist, where you create the sights and sounds of your very own farm. That seems promising, but I need help. I know, let's color it.
Not exactly what I was looking for. Let's try this one.
Ooh, farm artist, where you create the sights and sounds of your very own farm. That seems promising, but I need help. I know, let's call our nurture buddy.
That'll do. All right, so now that I have my 2 videos, I needed to stitch them together to be one video, which I have here, and I'm going to show you the results.
What do you think, Squoosh?
Oh, farm artist, where you create the sights and sounds of your very own farm. That seems promising, but I need help.
I know, let's call our nurture buddy.
To recap, I started with a 2D design concept, and using references and AI models, I built it out into an actual virtual set. I chose my camera angles. I looked at the action on my boards. I assembled my set. I assembled my actors. I started by generating the frames that I wanted, and then I used that to go ahead and generate finished animation that I stitched together. And this finished shot here will actually go into the episode. Historically, this would take a team of 15, 20 weeks to produce a finished episode. At Nurture, with 3 artists, we can do it in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, and we don't even need an animator. So there we go. I'm going to pass this off to Grant, my colleague, an interactive producer at Nurture, who's going to show you some more amazing stuff in interactive. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. And hello, I'm Grant Holzhauer, interactive producer here at Nurture, where I'm working on developing the game and magic moment blocks that go into our adventures in the engine tool in CreatorOS. It looks like for this particular adventure, a sticker book game is called for. With that, we'll be able to let kids choose and interact with stickers to create a scene that's custom for them. The block we see here was assembled using a variety of other game components, so let's switch to one that'll have the functionality we're looking for. Here's our sticker scene block, which is composed in such a way that any game designer can come in here and quickly tailor the block to fit the experience they need by tweaking a variety of gameplay and content configuration settings. In this case, we'll need to create a farm scene. to bring some comfort to our homesick tomatoes. Except this isn't a farm. We can switch pages. There's our farm. But we don't want them to come back and see the sea. So let's go ahead and turn the page turn feature off, and we'll tweak just a few of our settings. We'll swap in our farm background, and then we will also swap out these animals with more appropriate animals. So instead of pufferfish, we have cows. Instead of a seahorse, we have chickens. And instead of a duck, let's put in a tractor. All right, drag these in now.
Moo. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Cock-a-doodle-doo.
All right, already looking and sounding a lot better, but we can tweak this even further with more customization settings. So let's look at some sticker behaviors. And I'll turn the sound down for now. Our stickers are already randomized, as you've been seeing. We can also allow them to be flipped so that when we flip them, we can see the opposite side, and we can even flip entire stacks. We will go ahead and change the number from a certain number to infinite number so we can have as many chickens as we want. But that might be just a few too many chickens. We could put some back. We can also allow for resizing stickers. So if we want to have one very large chicken and a few baby chickens, and maybe a large cow and a baby cow. Let's make our tractor just a bit bigger. Still looking even better, but maybe we could give just a little bit more personality to our stickers. And we can come in and we can change their movement. So let's make one cow dance, and the other cow can spin. And then we'll get to our chickens. Chickens are going to bounce. And our tractors, let's do a swing for our tractors. And we'll turn back on our sound. So now kids can really personalize the farm scene, which will help us with our learning goal, developing digital literacy with art and sound. Speaking of sound, we can just turn on this last little feature to pitch the voice based on the size. Perfect. In the near future, building this out further will be even more simplified using our built-in agents for interactive design and development. For now, I'll hand this over to Ritesh to put this interactive into our adventure via the Compose tool. Ritesh?
All right, thanks, Grant and Scott, for showing us how we are using the engine and the canvas to create the interactive and linear components of the adventure. Now I'm going to show you how easy it is to compose them together. So you can see we're in Compose. I have already gone ahead and created this new adventure, export, and then it's a simple matter of adding blocks. So we can add a linear, interactive, or control block. So let's go ahead and add a linear block as an example, and then we can hook it up to the video that Scott had created, or the shots that Scott has created. And this is the interactive block that Grant created. And so it's just a matter of sequencing them correctly. And once you're happy, you hit save, and you can export it out, and you get a link. You can skip through, you can go to different chapters. And yeah, basically that's it. That's a glimpse of how we create adventures now on the Nurture Creator platform. I hope we give you an idea of how much faster it is. This, whatever you've seen, to create a whole adventure would take multiple weeks, like 20 weeks, and a large team of 15 people. But you've seen that we've been able to do that with just 2 team members, and creating a shot and then customizing a game in about 10 minutes. And it's only going to get better. So that's it. Thank you for watching the demo all the way to the end. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out anyone in the team, and hope you have a good one.